Good afternoon, Littles and Jelly Spoons. Today I'm going to talk some more about my time in Regensburg when I was in this little flat. I wanted to meet people from over the world. So I joined the international pen friends. Because these days you didn't have like Facebook and Twitter and stuff, so. And in a way those letters were a lot more valuable, because you talk more about yourself and not just hi and happy birthday. I'm doing good, I'm there, I'm there. So, no. And I met a guy who was called HOSSAIN. He lived in Sheffield and he was from Iran. And we wrote some letters and it was quite good and quite funny. So I thought I'd invite him over to Regensburg. That's what I did. And he flew into the airport. I picked him up and we drove back, and since I was so much concentrating on translating German and English and stuff, so I missed the Autobahn exit. And it took us over 4 hours to get to Regensburg. Of course, on the back roads and down to Altötting.
You went to Altötting?
Almost, yeah.
So this was the old airport, right? In Erding?
Yeah, in Riem.
Riem.
And of course I didn't tell him that I was gone. So we arrived in Regensburg and I told him we're just friends, no romantic feelings or anything.
So you went straight home again?
We went zur schönen Gelegenheit. And of course I didn't have much space. So he even slept in my bedroom in this sessel. It's an armchair which you could fold into a bed. That's where he slept, and I slept in the bed. It was quite good. Wouldn't go nowadays, but these days it was a bit. Wasn't dangerous or anything, because we were good mates and we had a lot of fun.
Where did you go? All over. Where did you take him?
Yeah, I felt like a visitor to my own town. We went to the bars, the old Dubliners, and we even took a trip to Munich.
So you were a tourist for a couple of weeks. How long did you stay for?
2 weeks. And then we went back home. And now I knew I could trust him and he was a good friend. So he invited me back to Sheffield.
No, you can't stop the story there. What happened when it only took you an hour to get back to the airport?
Oh yeah. When his plane was about to leave. He got nervous. I said, "Oh, it's only an hour." "Oh, it's 4 hours." "Oh no, I know a back way is only an hour."
So you still didn't tell him you went the wrong way the first time? Cool dude.
So it went easy peasy. Then he invited me to Sheffield. But he was a student, he didn't have money. So he was living in a really old house. When you open the Wasserhahn,
The tap.
it came out brown. And nicht so good.
Nicht so good.
So the first evening I was there, he cooked an Iranian meal for me.
Uh-huh. Do you remember what it was?
No, but it was really good. That was the first time I smelled the spices and and then he rented a car, and we started a trip through England, down the south till Lansand, visited all the castles, not all of them, but Pembroke Castle, Combe Castle.
So you went from Sheffield over to North Wales
Yeah,
and then down to Cornwall.
yeah.
That was a long trip. How long did that take you?
Oh, it was more days, basically the whole holidays,
Uh-huh.
because we slept in youth hostels then,
Uh-huh.
and the best thing was we decided to go to Stratford-on-Avon.
It's a Shakespeare country.
Because I was a real Shakespeare fan. And in Stratford-on-Avon, there was no place in the youth hostel for females.
Uh-huh.
And so I booked into a bed and breakfast.
Uh-huh.
That was fantastic. Because I slept in a nice bed, went downstairs in the morning to really old rooms, or old furniture, and oven,
A stove.
fireplace.
A fireplace, okay.
And there was this guy, and he just gave me everything I needed.
So you have an English breakfast.
Yeah,
Was that your first English breakfast?
yeah.
Uh-huh. What did you think?
No, it was okay. And tea as well, and I just had a really nice, relaxing breakfast. Much nicer than in youth hostels. And HOSSAIN picked me up afterwards, and we went to Shakespeare's birthplace.
Mm-hmm.
And along the Avon. Really good. And then, yeah, to Cornwall we went to, of course, Tintagel. And it was breathtaking.
So that was your first time in the UK, yeah?
No, I went when I was a school child to visit my great aunt and aunt.
Great aunt, so you missed all this in when you were talking about your school days.
If
Tell me more.
My great aunt was in LINGFIELD.
Uh-huh.
Didn't I tell it?
I don't think so. I'll tell it again, just in case people missed it.
Yeah. I was in LINGFIELD. She was a nun, and she fled from Germany during the Second World War. And we loved that, because that used to be I can't find the words anymore.
In German?
An internat.
Oh, a boarding school.
Boarding school. And it was during the holidays. My elder sister and me went there and slept in the beds of the students.
Oh, right. So basically the school holidays were on, so there was no students there.
Yeah.
And so you could stay in the boarding school?
Yeah.
In Lingfield?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what the school was called?
No.
If I can put it, I'll put it up on the screen now.
Lingfield, sorry, but I think it doesn't exist anymore.
No?
It was such a long time ago.
Oh, you're an old biddy, aren't you, kid? Granny.
Yeah. And yeah, the best thing was because my great aunt wanted to help me with my English, because it was the year before the final tests.
Uh-huh.
So she came up to her room and she said, I go and read with Christine. And she said to my sister, and you do what do you like? And my sister said, yes. So I had to go with her and pick a book I wanted to read.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to read about Shakespeare's life.
Uh-huh.
And then I read that he got to get married to Anne Boleyn.
Shakespeare?
Anne Hathaway.
Uh-huh.
Anne Hathaway, she was good. And she was pregnant already.
No.
So my great aunt said, die haben wirklich schon vor der Ehe. That's really something.
Sex before marriage. Uh-huh. What's the story about you go pick the beans?
I know. And that was good for both of us, for my sister and me.
Uh-huh.
She said, I go and pick the beans, and you do what you like.
And what about the story with the bottle of Baileys? Was that her?
Yeah, eierlikör.
Eierlikör. So eggnog.
Eggnog, yeah.
Tante Bertha was her name, right?
Yeah.
Great Aunt Bertha.
Sister Mary Gisela.
Sister Mary Gisela. I love him, I love him, I love him, and where he goes I follow. Anyway, I'll cut that out.
Yeah.
You mean, yeah.
And we brought her
Eggnog.
eggnog, because she loved it so much. And then they said, oh, wouldn't it be nice for every sister to get a shot of eggnog after the meal? And she said, no, nobody benefits from it, just a little short slug. But for me it is something special.
So she kept the eggnog to herself.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we've had this Tante Bertha principle.
Uh-huh.
The Tante Bertha principle.
Right. She was right in a way too. You don't have to be holy all the time.
That's exactly right. SLCKS. Okay, that was Tanti Berta. Back now, zoom, back to Hossain.
Hossain, yeah.
He didn't go on to be a dictator, did he? You know?
No,
Saddam?
no, he was crossing Kookabia, wonder where he lives today. It's all
So if anybody knows Hossain, what's his surname?
Kookabi.
Hossain Kokabi, that used to live in Sheffield and was
A student.
a student in Sheffield University, was he?
Yeah.
There you go. We'll find him. I'll put a picture. If we find him, I'll put a picture up now.
Yeah, it was a great trip. And we met lots of people.
Mm-hmm.
Made friends with them.
So what was one of the best places you went to, would you say?
I think it was Cornwall.
Cornwall. So you like Shakespeare and that area, Cornwall.
Yeah.
Did you get up as far as York or?
Yeah.
Yeah? Did you see the shambles and all the little village towns and streets and stuff?
Yeah.
Did you get up near Scotland at all?
No, unfortunately not.
What was the furthest north you went then?
I think it was New York.
York. Not New York.
New York. The funny thing was he even told me about Wales, that they speak a completely different language. I didn't know that then.
At the time you didn't know that Welsh was a totally different language.
And he said when you go there, all the street names are in English and in Welsh.
Mm-hmm. Even back then?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the funny thing also was we went down along the road when we later went, when we came over.
So you passed me basically, and didn't know.
But we didn't go all the way to Borelli.
No. Did you get to Carnarvon and the castle in Carnarvon? It's down from Conway. There's a big castle with a big lawn in the middle.
Not sure it could be, but I couldn't.
And what year was this?
It was 1989.
1989. That's the year I arrived.
Yeah.
All right, so the year I arrived in Germany, you were in England. So therefore, you didn't meet me.
No.
Well, no. And my dad had already retired, so you wouldn't have seen him.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were like ships passing in the night.
Didn't pay attention.
We were ships passing in the night. She never pays attention when I'm talking.
We,
you and me.
Yeah. More like aeroplanes.
So, any more about Hossain and your trip to England and Wales?
Only that he took me to an English breakfast place.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought it was terrible.
So the one in the bed and breakfast was okay?
Was okay. But the one he took me was like just pure fat.
So a perfect English breakfast then?
Down the toes. I thought, how can anybody eat something like that in the morning?
So a plate of grease with fat?
Yeah. I had no idea.
What else?
No. That was basically it. Like the one time when he was too fast on the
motorway,
and we got stopped by police.
You were actually stopped?
Yeah.
Wasn't like a camera or something?
No, we got stopped.
What is this? Was that exciting
That was so funny.
for you?
Yeah, because Hossain put his car window down and he said, "Hello, officer." I didn't like that.
The officer didn't like that.
The officer, yeah, he didn't care.
So why was it? It was just the way he said it.
Yeah, he was like a little boy. "Hello, officer." Yeah, but when you're at that age, everything is funny, basically.
That's true. That's true. Now we're in the grumpy age.
Old man age.
Uh,
Yeah, then I went back home. Well, that was the HOSSAIN chapter.
we've been on 21 minutes now.
Okay,
So if you want to finish up and tell us what you're going to talk about next time.
next time I'm gonna talk about the time just before I met him.
Which Tim?
Both Tims.
Both Tims. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, say goodbye, Christina.
Say goodbye.